Monday, 6th of July 2015. Let's look at the headlines of today's newspapers. Very first, Daily Mirror. No nomination for Mervyn Sajith Duminda, notorious for various misdeeds during the previous rule. President Maithripala Sirisena has had reservation about giving nomination to 3-4 MPs of the United People's Freedom Alliance charged with various allegations. It is in learn the president has given the authority for UPFA Secretary Susil Prema Jayantha and Sri Lanka Freedom Party Secretary Anura Priyadarsana Yapa to select the candidates in consultation with other party leaders. According to UPFA sources, the president will not interfere with the selection of candidates. The UPFA has already started initial work for the selection of candidates. The party has decided to give nomination to all the MPs who served in the last parliament representing it. However, the party seriously considers the exclusion of 3 MPs who have tarnished their reputation. They are Mervyn Silva, Sajith Divas Gunawardana and Duminda Silva. It is learned that the most party seniors are not in favor of giving nomination to them. These MPs were notorious for various miscreants during the previous rule. The UPFA nomination committee will meet again to discuss the preparation of list and allocation of slots among its allies. Mahajan Eksaperamuna, a key ally of the UPFA, has sought nomination for 10 members on the UPFA ticket. Besides Democratic Left Front leader, former Minister Vasudevan Nanekara has sought nomination for its members for contest from 5 districts under the UPFA. Next headline, legal action for making criminal allegation against FCID. Persons who make statement that may expose criminal allegations against the Financial Crimes Investigation Divisions will be dealt with, especially during the Parliament election. Police media spokesman ASP Ruwan Gunasekara said yesterday. Next headline, nomination from today till July 13. The election authorities will start from today accepting the nomination list of political parties and independent group intending to contest the August 17 general election, officials said yesterday. Next headline, 3 SLFE ministers to contest from UNP. Lands Minister MKDS Gunawardana, Port and Shipping Minister Arjuna Ranatunga and Cultural Affairs Minister Namdimitra Ekanayaka are considering contesting the forthcoming general election from the United National Party, according to the political sources. Next headline, willing to work with President Sirisena, MR. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa said if he wins at the forthcoming general election and become the Prime Minister, he is willing to work under his one-time Minister and current President Maithripala Sirisena. Next headline, the Bandaranaike family did everything for the country, MS. President Maithripala Sirisena said yesterday that Bandaranaike family did everything for the country without corruption and fraud. The president was speaking at the function to mark the 70th birthday of former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga. Next headline, nomination for MR, greatest political betrayals by MS, JVP. President Maithripala Sirisena made the greatest political betrayal in recent political story by agreeing to give nomination to former President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Janata Vimukti Peramuna charged yesterday. These people did not have any political interest. They were keen only to end Rajapaksa's family rule. After the defeat, mass-scale corruption that took place during the regime was exposed. Next we move to Ceylon today. Mahinda bridge to India and China. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa has announced that he would be a bridge between the India and China, nothing that Sri Lanka never posed a threat to the relationship it shared with India. In an interview to Rediff.com, the former president said that country needed to maintain good relation with both India and China. Sri Lanka will never pose a threat to India and we have nothing to gain by helping any other countries to become a threat to India, he said. Mahinda Rajapaksa, who lost the Sri Lankan presidency earlier this year, plans to contest the parliamentary election and likely become Prime Minister. He spoke exclusively to Rediff.com contributor Natin Gokhali. Rajapaksa further told Rediff.com, Sri Lanka has always had close relation with China from the 1915s onwards. India concern about Sri Lanka relation with China is a new phenomenon which has come about in the past few years in the context of the rivalry between India and China as the world's rising superpowers in Asia. We need to maintain good relations with both India and China. Sri Lanka will never pose a threat to India and we have nothing to gain by helping any other country to become a threat to India. In this context, I wish to recall the role play by our late leader Srimavo Bandaranaike, who meditated between India and China, the Sino-India War of 1962. Next headline, Sobhita Thera tells MS, read Upul Joseph Gurudina Viharaya if giving nomination to MR. National Movement for Social Justice leader Vendramal Madhulave Sobhita Thera requested President Maithripala Sirisena to read Maubima columnist Upul Joseph Fernando's Gurudina Viharaya on 2nd June to remind himself of the past prior to his victory if he was considering giving nomination to former President Mahinda Rajapaksa. The Thera said that such would be a prudent of Sirisena was considering giving nomination to Rajapaksa at the general election from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party led United People's Freedom Alliance. The Thera also explained that he would not be appearing on behalf of any political party at the upcoming parliamentary election and that he would not join with any political party in continuing the struggle for political reforms expected by him and the civil society to be brought to fruition from 8 January onwards. All civil society activists, including me, have no desire to make any political and politician a king. Those who came to power because of the people must work on behalf of the people to fulfill their expectations. The political system running according to the changing political platforms must change immediately. If not, the people will give the politicians an answer, so the Thera stressed. Next headline, JHU disbands from UPFA. Jatika Hela Urumaya disbanded itself from the United People's Freedom Alliance and declared that the party will create a new alliance in order to contest in the forthcoming general election. General Secretary of JHU Patali Champika Ranawaka, speaking at the media briefing yesterday, said that party had lost hope in the country's two prominent political parties in creating good governance. Therefore, the JHU will be prompt a new alliance in order to contest in the upcoming polls. Next headline, 2015 general election. Nomination beginning today. Nomination for the 2015 general election will commence from today, 6 July and go until 13 July, the election department announced yesterday. Speaking to Ceylon today, the election commissioner Mahinda Desapriya said that nomination for the general election will be accepted starting today. Nomination will only be accepted from 6 July to 13 July during the working hours. He said ending on the 13th, however, the nomination will only be accepted until 12 noon. Furthermore, Desapriya added that deposit will be taken from independent candidates until the last day of nomination, while there will be no deposit from the registered and recognized political parties. Meanwhile, the election commissioner further added that the application for postal votes will also be accepted in the interim. The 2015 general election is scheduled to be held on 17 August. Next, we move to daily news. 12 policemen transferred out. Disruption in police functions. 12 police officers attached to the Mayanganaya police station had been transferred with immediate effect, sources at the Mayangana police said. These transfers had been made during the past 2 days following an incident where a group of UNP supporters were attacked while pasting posters in Mayanganaya by a group of supporters of a former SLFP MP. The sources said the main reason for the transfer were the non-arrest of those involved in this violent incident. This has been the largest transfer at the single police station so far. The transfer had been made by the UR province DIG with the immediate effect. New appointments have been made to replace them. The transfer have caused disruption of the police function since the new appointmentees are unfamiliar with the area and the people. Next headline, UNP will romp home Navin. The UNP will win 10 seats out of 14 in the Kurunegala district, SLFP Treasurer and Labour Minister SB Navin said yesterday. Navin speaking at media briefing at his residence in Malwana, Variapola said several SLFPers aware of this and were ready to leave the party. He said lawyers, government servants, teachers and pensioners of Sakorella have decided to extend their fullest support to ensure a UNP victory. Navin said the people will give a correct answer to the new breed of politicians who are drug dealers and wine shop owners at the forthcoming general election. He also predicted the sweeping victory for the UNP. Navin, who joined the UNP on Saturday, arrived at these decisions as the UPFA leadership had consented to give an opportunity to former President Mahinda Rajapaksa to contest the August 17 parliamentary election on the UPFA ticket. That's the headlines of today's newspapers. We'll meet tomorrow with more headlines. Until then, log on with Athavan News.